This episode is all about occultism. We make all of the chalks, set up all of the pentacles, do the rituals, find Iesnium, and even make the rainbow chalk. Hi there, welcome back to another episode. Today, I'm going to spend some time righting a wrong we've had in the past. Basically, I'm not super satisfied with how we left off with occultism, and I wanted to dedicate an episode going through the full progression line for occultism and kind of showing you guys how that works. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Obviously we did use occultism a bunch, and we have some of the chalks and all of these things. And I'm going to kind of delete all those. Let's delete the chalks at least. And the divination rod. Don't worry about any of these. I'm going to get rid of it to reset my progress, and we're going to start from scratch. Okay, so the first thing you need with occultism is some demon seeds, demon dream seeds, and you get these from breaking grass just around the world. And then you will need a hoe, and you can plant the seed, grow them a bunch, and you get these demon's dream fruits. Okay, so we have 15 of those. That should be good for now. And let's grab a flint and steel. You're going to want to make an eternal fire by throwing one of these demon fruits down and then lighting it on fire. Then you get this purple spirit fire. It does not burn you, so you can stand inside of it. I mean, I have fire resistance, but it still doesn't burn you. And once you have that, you can throw things inside of it to get other things. So, for example, you can throw in feather. So we have a stack of feathers here. And when you throw that in, you get the awakened feather. Something else we will need is black dye. Let's go ahead and throw in a stack of those, and you get these purified inks. Those will be necessary for making the books. Okay, and we will need to make a bunch of these sacrificial bowls, which require other stone, and that comes from throwing andesite in there. So let's grab a couple stacks of those. That gives us other stone. And then we will also need to get started with a white chalk. And as you can see, that requires burnt otherstone and otherworld ashes. The burnt otherstone comes from smelting otherstone, so that's pretty easy. And then the ashes comes from smelting otherworld log. The way you get otherworld logs is by taking normal saplings, which I have somewhere over here. Let's just start with one. I'll take bone meal as well. And you're going to throw the normal sapling in there, and you will get an occultism oak sapling. Then we will grow this tree, and you can see that it turns into a normal Minecraft tree. But if you take those demon fruits and you eat it until you get the third eye effect, it might not happen all the time on your first hit or on your first time you eat it. So you're going to have to do it multiple times until you do get the third eye. And once everything looks purple like this, you can see that it looks like otherworld log instead of the oak logs. Then you can mine the tree, and you get some saplings back. Okay, so you do that with these other ones as well. And we'll grow them. Okay, and if you notice, this looks like a normal oak log now because our third eye effect wore out. So we're going to eat another fruit. And now it's otherworld logs, and we can go ahead and farm those as well. Okay, so with 30 of the otherworld logs, we want to throw those in the spirit fire. And that will give us the otherworld ashes, which will help us make our first chalk after we take the other stone and smelt those. So let's go back home and put these guys in a furnace. So we have a stack of those. Okay. And with that and that, we can make, 21 white chalks. You only need one for now. And then every impure chalk can be thrown inside of the spirit fire and you get the actual real version of it. All right. So everything you do will require Dictionary of Spirits. And that is a book combined with the demon seeds. That will give you the Dictionary of Spirits. You will need this for everything. And let's go ahead and make some of these sacrificial bowls. How about 12 of them? And let's make one golden sacrificial bowl. Okay. So if you take a look at your book, yours might not have all of, well, when the first time you open it up, it won't have everything unlocked. Just go ahead and click on this or shift click it and it'll open everything up and then you can see everything without having to go, one by one. But basically you start out with the fire and then you get candles and like all that stuff. That will be required for doing rituals. And if you look at the pentacles on this side, you will see there are three main ones. So you have this one that's square. You have one that's kind of shaped like a hexagon, and then you have a circular one. And those are three different pentacle setups. And this is the first one. And as you unlock the better chalks, then you'll be able to upgrade these ones. And if you have the last ones set up, so if you look at this one, it has the orange, the blue, like it's a big thing set up, versus this one where it's only the white chalk. So this is how you get started. And as you unlock the higher tier chalks, they get bigger and bigger until you get the last one. So eventually you want to work your way up to these last ones and you'll have 1, 2, 3 main ritual pentacles set up. And then also you're going to do these ones, these 3 down here. Well, they're for less common rituals, but they are different. So you can set those up as well. All right, let's get started with trying to get all of the chalks done. So I'm going to search for impure chalk and we have the white one. Then the next one, we're going to want to do light gray, lime, gray, orange. So we're just going to kind of move through them like that. We have the white one, and then let's say the light gray one. If you take a look, requires these dusts and crushed calcite. These ones you get from having a crusher. So you can see that you need the summon foliate crusher ritual, which is the circular one. So let's make the first circular one, which is AVR circle. And then you click on this little eye icon and it'll show you what it looks like in the world. You place it down somewhere and then the golden sacrificial bowl goes in the middle. The other sacrificial bowls you can place in any empty slot. It doesn't matter where it is. And then you use your white chalk to mark down the patterns, whatever you want to call those. So those guys are all done, and then we just need the 4 candles. Okay, and once you do that, you can see that it is complete, and now we can use this for our rituals. And this one will be our circular one. So as we upgrade it, this will get bigger and bigger, and then off to the side, we'll make another one for like the hexagonal one, and then the square. So we'll have 3 set up and go in at the same time. All right, so now we want to make a crusher. And to make this guy, this is your recipe. So we need the Book of Binding, the blue one. And then we need iron, gold, copper, and silver. So we're going to do that. So let's make the Book of Binding. Well, we want to make these taboo books, which you take normal books and throw them in the fire. So let's grab a stack of books and throw those guys in here. And now we have taboo books. And then again, we have the, what's it called? We have the feathers and the inks because we threw those in the fire as well. Okay, and then the blue one, of course, takes blue dye, which I need access to my EMI system for that. And I did it wrong. This one. So you make the Book of Binding, and each ritual will take a book, and don't forget to bind it. So we're going to put that in there with the Dictionary of Spirits, and then it will be a bound book. So this one's unbound, and this is bound. So that means it's now ready for the ritual. And then again, we will need those ingots. So we need iron, gold, silver, and I forget what the other one was. Copper. Come on, give me copper. Just do this. Okay, so once that's set up, you put those ingots inside of the sacrificial bowls, and then the last thing, you click the bound book in there. Now it says it's starting the summoning for the Crusher. If you have a time wand, you can accelerate the bowl in the middle, and it'll make it go faster. Okay, so now we have our little Crusher guy. If you guys remember Alfred, rest in peace, Alfred. We miss you. You were great. We learned our lesson. We'll be nicer to this guy. We'll call him Manfred. Alfred and Manfred. Okay, so let's take some calcite and we can just throw it down and he'll pick it up and start crushing it. And you would do the same thing for the silver and the iron, but because this is all the mods 10, it's ore dictionaried. So, you know, you can get these ones from other crushing means, like using the ore hammers. Or you can put them in a crusher from Mechanism. But the calcite you have to do because it's specific to occultism. Okay. And then we take another one of our impure white chalks and we mix it with those things and the iron dust. And we get an impure light gray chalk. So now we have white and light gray, and we throw that in the fire. And that's it. So let's move on to the next chalk, which I believe will be the lime. So let's take a look at the lime. And that's going to require this research fragment dust. So we need the square ritual. So let's go ahead and get that one set up. This one requires purple. So we'll need to do the purple one first. Oh, the yellow and the purple we need first. Whoops. So the yellow one, it's just gold dust and glowstone. Easy to do. So we have the yellow one, and then the purple one requires obsidian and crushed endstone. So let's take endstone and we'll give that guy to Manfred. Hey Manfred, can you crush that for me, please? And then the obsidian dust you can also give to Manfred, but I think we have auto crafting set up for that. This guy's very slow. Can I tick accelerate you? I don't think so. Okay. So we have the endstone, and that gives us the impure purple. We throw that in the fire, so now we have yellow and purple as well. All right, so moving on to this guy. Let's click the multi-view, and we can set him up a few blocks over this way. I think think that's lined up. Okay. Now we do the white ones. And if you misclick like that, you get a brush and you can erase it. And then the purple chalk goes over there, and we need some more candles. And let's get another sacrificial bowl. And then these guys can go like so. Okay, so that one was for the lime, which requires research fragments. So we need emerald dust and then 2 bottles of enchanting and then the blue book once again. So let's make the book first. And always remember to combine it with the Dictionary of Spirits to make it bound. Then we need bottles of enchanting, 2 of those guys. And what was it? Emerald dust. Okay. 2 bottles of enchanting, emerald dust. Book goes in the middle. Let's accelerate it a bit. And that gives us the research fragment dust, which allows us to make the impure lime chalk. You throw the impure in the fire and you get the normal. Okay, up next we can do the gray one. So let's take a look at the gray chalk. That requires gray paste, which requires another of the square ones. And this one's Strigor's higher binding. Let's take a look. So that's the second tier. So I'm going to select the second tier, click on this and place it on the same thing. And you can see most of our things are set there already, but we're going to have to do the lime chalks. Oops. Brush, I have it. And now this pentacle can do all of the recipes from this one as well as the one before. And we need the purple one. And this is why early game, when you're kind of exploring and you go through dungeons and stuff that have skeleton heads, you want to pick them up because you will use it for occultism. And this guy's not white. What is it? Light gray. Okay, and skulls. We will put these guys down. Okay, now this one is complete as well. And where were we? We were doing the gray chalk, okay, which requires the gray paste, and that requires the purple book. So same exact thing, but instead of having blue dye, you surround it with purple dye. And we're going to bind it with the Dictionary of Spirits. So that gives us the bound one. And we will need clay, gunpowder, gray dye, and phantom membrane. Okay, so we put the materials in the sacrificial bowls, put the book in the middle, and accelerate that. If you have the time wand, it's great because you can accelerate, or even a time in a bottle, you can accelerate the sacrificial bowls. As you progress through occultism, you can get better sacrificial bowls. So like for this one, when you look at it, you see there's the gold sacrificial bowl, then there's the Iesnium one, and after that is the Eldritch Chalice. The Eldritch Chalice will basically do the rituals almost instantly, and then the Iesnium one placed instead of the golden sacrificial bowl will make it a little bit faster. But obviously we're not there yet. with the progression. So we will do that once we unlock that. Okay, now let's make the gray one and throw in the fire. We're just collecting chalks at this point so we can get, you know, our pentacles maxed out. So that was the gray one, and then we want to do the orange one. And again, these guys are lined up with their things, with the pentacles. So like this one requires the gray one, and then this one requires the lime one. So you can see the orange one will be for this guy, and this guy. So they're lined up like that. Okay, let's take a look at that one. So this requires blaze powder, glow berries, and then this cursed honey, which comes from a ritual. So we need the Ihegan's enthrallment ritual, and that is going to require us to sacrifice a chicken. So let's grab a mob catcher and go get a chicken. Hello, chicken. Okay, so this pentacle, you can see it's the hexagonal one, which we don't have set up yet. That's this one in the middle. So we'll need to set up this guy. And we will come over here. Put some distance in between. And let's do this one. So this requires orange, which we don't have. So we'll have to set up this one. Oh, these two yellows over here. Okay, so we completed that guy. Let's put our sacrificial bowls back so we can do the ritual. And then for the orange one, that required the purple book that we haven't made yet. So let's go ahead and start with that. Again, bind it by combining with the dictionary. And then we need a bunch of honey stuff. So we need honey block, honey bottle, honeycomb, and honeycomb block. There's a comb block and a honeycomb. And then we need to sacrifice the chicken. So you go ahead and put the items in the sacrificial bowls. You put the book in the middle. And when you throw down the chicken and kill it, it will start the ritual. And you get this this bee. And once you kill the bee, it drops cursed honey. And the reason why we got so many cursed honey is because I have looting 10 on my sword. So looting does affect the drops for these guys. Now we can take that and make the orange chalk, throw it in the fire. And that is that. So we can use that to upgrade this guy to the next tier. So that changes because these we need to change to the gray ones. And then we need these spirit attuned crystals, which are just diamonds thrown in the spirit fire. Oh, and then you combine them like that to get those guys. Let's do a couple more stacks of these. And yellow chalk for these guys. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now that tier is complete. So let's take a look at the next chalk that we need. We just did the orange one, so now we can go to the red chalk. And in order to get the red one, so we need a torch flower, which comes from the hanging garden inside of the bumble zone, or you can also have your sniffers sniff them up. But we don't have a sniffer right now. We have the egg, but I'm not going to deal with that. So let's just get a beehive. How about a normal one? And then a pearl. And we can go to the bumble zone. So you put the beehive down, you throw the pearl inside of it, and it teleports you to the Bumble Zone. And if we take our structure compass, or sorry, our explorer's compass, we can search for Hanging Garden in the Bumble Zone. And there's one 600 blocks away in this direction. Okay, so once you find these hanging gardens, just look around these platforms. There are tons of flowers everywhere. And you want to look for the torch flower, which can be a little bit hard to find. They're not super common. Okay, here's a torch flower. So I'm going to grab one of those. And you can also grab candles from here as well if you need it. And, you know, anything else like the honeys. But we got what we needed. So let's go back. Okay, so with the night vision, we can now see a little bit clearer. And the red one, you can see it also requires this Afrit essence, which comes from Abra's Open Conjure. So we will need to do that one, and that's the circle one, which is this. And we go to Pentacles, Abra's Open Conjure, which is the third one that we don't have set up yet. So let's set this guy up. Okay, then we need flint and steel, gunpowder, quartz, and we'll need the yellow book. So let's make the yellow book. Combine it with the Dictionary of Spirits. And it was netherrack, gunpowder, quartz, and flint and steel. Okay, put those guys in, sacrifice the cow, and speed that up. And this will spawn this guy, which we will kill. And he will drop some of those essences. And again, we got 7 because of the looting. Okay, so then we take those guys and we can make a impure red chalk. Throw that in the fire. And now we have a normal red chalk. Oh, you know what, guys? I messed that up. That's why everything was different in this one, because I put it in that. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Let's take a look at the next one. So we got the red. After that is black chalk. Okay, and that requires these witherite dusts. And that requires this guy, which we should, oh, we need the red one for it. So that is the square one. And the square one is the one we got rid of, right? And the last one, and this one is complete as well, except for the sacrificial bowls that we keep forgetting. Okay, so we've got this guy, and this guy all set next to each other, which will be our 3 main ones. And we were trying to make the black die, which requires this guy. And we need the yellow book. Then that requires netherite dust and crushed blackstone and a wither rose. So let's take, I believe the netherite dust needs to be, oh, okay, netherite ingot works. So let's grab netherite ingot, and then we will need blackstone. And a wither rose. The wither rose you can find in the nether, or you can, if the wither kills any monster, that monster will drop a wither rose. Okay, we will need also our guy Manfred, so he can crush these things for us. So you can see he's going to do the black stone, and then I'll give him the netherite as well. Okay, those guys are all crushed up. So let's go ahead and do this guy. All right, and that gives us 3 of the what's it called? Witherite dust. And we have the black as well. And the next thing we will need is the blue chalk, which will complete all of our main rituals. So in order to get the blue one, we will need lapis dust. So let's go ahead and grab a couple of those and give it to Manfred. Thanks, buddy. And then we will need this essence, which comes from the circular one. And that one's Abra's Fortified Conjure. So I think we will need to, yep, now that we have the black dye, we'll need to redo that one again. Over here, and all we do is change these to black. And we need to add the reds. And we will also have to use a trident. So let's grab a trident. I think I have one. I do not have a trident. How do I pick this up? Oh, just like that. Okay, let's go back. And do this one more time. We go ahead and put all the items inside. We put the book in the middle, and then you just throw the trident down at your feet. And when you pick it back up, it will start the ritual. And this guy will spawn a bunch of these. We kill that guy, and he drops. Come on. One more guy. Okay, so we got 9 of the merit essences, which will help us make the blue chalk. And we throw that in the fire. And now we have all of the chalks for the main pentacles. So let's go ahead and let's go ahead and make the full versions of each of these, right? Which are the last ones, now that we have all of the chalks open, because the blue one was the last one we needed. And then we'll be fully set up. So that guy goes over there, and we take the blue. Okay, and this guy is also done. So now we have the max tier of each of the 3 main pentacles set up, and any ritual that we need. So if you go ahead and search in occultism, and any of these rituals you can do. So you can see the circle one will correspond with the one that looks like a circle. The ones that's kind of hexagonal, it'll correspond with the triangular one, I guess, or diamond shaped. And then we have the square one, which will correspond with this one. So moving on, instead of having all of these chalks to deal with, you can tell that there's kind of a lot of them. And they do have durability. So if one runs out, you'll have to make them again, unless you can Eternal Stella them and make them all indestructible. But I'm going to skip doing that, because if you do Eternal Stella them, you can't make the rainbow chalk. And let me show you. If you make the rainbow chalk, this is the ritual that it takes, and you need every single color of chalk. And when you do that with the ritual, you get the rainbow chalk. That is just one chalk that you can use for all of the markings. And we'll do that one in Eternal Stella, that one. If you have your normal chalks Eternal Stella, they won't work in that ritual. So you'll have to change it, or you'll have to make a new one. So that's why I'm waiting on that one. But as you can see, even though we got all of these chalks, we still don't have like the light blue one, the the magenta one. So there are a few more that we need. And in order to get those ones, we'll have to do these rituals. So let's get into that one. Or well, we need these chalks in order to get those ones. So let's see what the magenta, the brown, and the cyan one take. So we need the impure one. And then we want magenta, cyan, and brown. Okay, and then for these guys, we need green, light blue, and pink. All right, so we got them bookmarked over here now. Let's start with the magenta, I guess. So that requires amethyst dust, which is amethyst to our crusher. And why don't we, now that we have this set up, we can make a better crusher than Manfred. We can make Manfred 2.0. So let's go and pick up Manfred in one of these creature catchers so he doesn't die like Alfred. And let's go ahead and take a look at a higher level crusher. So if we look at crusher, we can make, get rid of all these. We can make the Merid one, which is the highest tier. Okay, so that will require one of these Book of Bindings. Oh, we need an Iesnium block. Let's do our Iesnium progression. So in order to get Iesnium, you want to go this route. So we want to make the Otherworld goggles. That way we can see things. The Otherworld goggles will give us Demon Sight without having to eat the fruit all the time. So let's make the lens that takes silver. And then we will have to do this ritual. So it's in the square one. It takes these lens glasses. Then we will need 2 silver, a gold, and the blue book. We bind the blue book. We need gold and 2 silver. The lens, oh, it's the square one, this one. Okay, so that gives us the infused lenses, and we make the lens frame, and we make the goggles. So now when we wear the goggles on our head, you can see that we have permanent Demon Sight. So you can see that without having to, what do you call it? Eat the fruit. And then what we will need is Iesnium is found inside of the nether. And we'll need a divination rod in order to find it. And we need to bind this to netherrack. And I forgot how you do that. Do you combine it or do you click on it? Okay, so you shift right click the divination rod and make sure you got the one from occultism. There are divination rods from theurgy. These are not the ones you want. You want the one from occultism. And when you have it, you shift right click on a piece of netherrack, and it says now that the rod is attuned to Iesnium ore. So now we go to the nether. How about here? Okay, and then you hold right click on the divination rod and it shows you which direction. So down below we should find oops. still going in this direction. And as you get closer, you can see the little crystal in the divination rod gets bigger and bigger. So that shows you where it is. Hey, ancient debris. How exciting. What is going on with this guy? Let's maybe try... Oh, here it is. Oh my god. It is literally buried. And we didn't get it. We didn't get it because we can't mine it with an old pickaxe. We need the other. We need this guy. Spirit attuned pickaxe. Let's go back. Throw some more diamonds inside of the fire. And we make a spirit attuned pickaxe head, which allows us to make the spirit attuned pickaxe with this guy. And we need 2 sticks and 2 silver. And that is the square binding, or the square ritual. So we go down here. All right, don't forget that part. You need the infused pickaxe in order to mine Iesnium. So let's go back to the nether. And you also need to have otherworld goggles, or at least you need demon sight in order to be able to see the spirit attuned, or the Iesnium ore. So let's, how about go over here? Okay, here's the other one. And we'll use our infused pickaxe. And we got 1 ore. And we can use this to crush to get more, I guess. Does that work with the ore hammer? I don't think so. No. But we can use our crusher. Let me try to find another one, or a few more. And I'll be back once I have that. So you just kind of go around, you do the divination rod. It points you in the direction of where it is. And once you come across it, you mine it with the infused pickaxe. Right, so I've got some Iesnium ore and an Iesnium, and raw Iesnium. And if you smelt them, you just get 1, but we can double it with our crusher guy. Let's see if there are any other ways. Yeah, so it looks like just the crushers. So I'm gonna let this guy crush him. This is the slow one, so it's gonna take a long time. But after that's done, we can go ahead and make this the good crusher. And this guy is not only very fast, but he will 6 times the Iesnium that we get. So instead of getting 2, we'll get 6 at a time. And actually, maybe I will not crush all of them. We'll do enough to make the better crusher and then crush the rest with that guy. So anyways, I'm going to wait for him to crush and we'll be back. Okay, we are back. We have enough Iesnium to make a block for this crusher guy. So we need the green book. And we will bind it. Then we want a block of emerald, block of diamonds, and a gas tier. This guy should be ready. And does this require sacrifice? No. Okay. So this will spawn the other crusher. That's actually a good one. The best one, in fact. It's one of the water dudes. This guy. So let's put him over here, and we'll give him four of the Iesnium ore blocks. And each time, see how much faster he is, and each time he gives us 6 instead of just 4. So that is very nice. Let's go ahead and smelt these up. Now back to the magenta one. So this will require some things. Another green book. And also the amethyst. So let's take maybe 10 amethyst and use her. Please break those up. We'll need dragon's breath, crushed endstone, and crystals. We need 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we got a dragonist dust, which makes our impure magenta chalk. Throw her in the fire. Next, we want the, what's this one? The cyan one. We need Iesnium dust and also echo dust. So let's grab our crusher guy. We will take an Iesnium ingot, give it to him, as well as an echo shard. And we need glow ink, which we can make. So, right, there's the cyan one, simple enough. The brown one requires cocoa beans and the cruelty essence, which will require rabbits and armadillos and sacrifice a chicken. So let's go to, we have 2 rabbits' feet. We need 4, and then the armadillo. Do we have a rabbit swab? No. Okay. So let's grab some swabs, and we will go swab armadillos and rabbits. Okay. And in a savanna, we'll just find an area like this, and we have armadillos. Oh, we wanted to swap those guys. Whoops. Let's kill. Okay, we're in a desert. Some rabbits. I'll swap one, but I think we can probably just kill them. And because we have looting, it should be pretty easy to get. Eat. Just one? Oh, come on. Okay, we're back, and we have all of the things necessary for the brown thing. So we need 4 armadillo scoots and 4 rabbit's feet, 2 dripstone. And goodbye, chicken. This will give us a coat. Oh, we loot pinata and got a stack and a half cruelty essence. Nice. Love it. All right, that gives us the brown chalk. And then we want the green one. This one requires a blue book, 3 saplings, 3 seeds, and 3 leaves. Alrighty, that gives us the green one. Throw her in the fire. And the light blue one requires crushed ice, packed ice, and blue ice. Crushed ice, Hacked ice. Blue ice. Right, there's the light blue one. And last but not least, the pink. And this guy requires demonic meat. We'll need to sacrifice pigs and also make the yellow book. Okay, we have one gilded blackstone. We need warped fungus, crimson fungus, and a quartz. All right, so let's go ahead and put those ingredients in here. Book goes there. Pig will be sacrificed. And that guy loot pinata as well. Very nice. Now we have a pink chalk. All right, so that should give us all of the chalks that we need. So if we take a look at the rainbow chalk, I believe that's everything. We will need the rainbow chalk ritual, and we need to sacrifice a sheep. So let's go grab a sheep. Okay, so this is the one we need to set up for the chalk. And we'll just move that guy over here. Let's grab our brown, cyan, and magenta. Okay, so we have almost everything set up for this ritual. We just need an amethyst cluster, which we don't have. And I wonder, do we have budding amethyst? Let's go cardboard box. No, we just have environmental accumulators. We can make a budding amethyst block through this other one. So I guess we can set this up as well. Okay, so this guy is set up to, let's make even more sacrificial bowls. And with that, we have all 5 of the pentacles set up. So let's do something like that. Okay, now in order to make a budding, and of course you can just go ahead and get, find a geode in the world and farm a thing with, farm a amethyst cluster with pickaxe, with, I can sacrifice a pig, with a silk touch pick. So let's go do this one real quick. So we need a block of amethyst and then 6 amethyst dust. So block and 6 dust. And we sacrifice the pig. Which loot pinata, thank you. Okay, so that gives us budding amethyst block. We set that down and I think we can time on that. Maybe not. Maybe. All right, there's the amethyst cluster that will go over here. And now this is complete and we can use it. Let me go ahead and pick this up. I destroyed it. Forgot you can't pick that up with Soul Fetch. Okay, now we can do the rainbow chalk. So let's grab this. And we need the green, the lime. So we don't need white, we don't need black, we don't need gray. So black, gray, light gray, white. And that's all 12 of them. So let's go ahead and put those guys around. And we sacrifice the sheep. Ta-da! Now we have the rainbow chalk. That can be any color glyph on the ground. I do want to make another one of these guys though. Okay, so with this one, oh, and this one also, you don't need to Eternal Stella. It's already a forever chalk. So when we move this into our other base, we can go ahead and do that. I kind of don't like how it changes. I like the steady ones better. So anyways, I know this episode's been running a little bit long, but I did want to run through the full progression of all of the pentacles. So now everything we have is maxed. Let's do a little quick review. Basically with occultism, the rituals are how you do everything and how you progress through the game. And in order to progress, you need all of the different chalks unlocked. So if you take a look at this, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 main pentacle setups. And you want to set up the circle, the triangle, the diamond, and the square ones first. And you will see that each one where the chalk is corresponds with the next tier of it. So you set those up and then grow each one as you get to it. And once you have the last ones, then these, like this one, for example, that you have set up will be able to do the rituals from all of the previous setups from it. So once you have the last one set up, then you don't have to worry about it. You can just do all of those. And then the only other weird thing is getting Iesnium. And if you remember, we have to make the goggles. So we have Demon Sight. And then we go ahead and make the infused pickaxe. And once we do that, we use the divination rod. Again, remember that it's the divination rod from occultism and not the one from theurgy. Then once you have that, you go to the nether, you shift right click on a piece of netherrack and then hold right click for it to point you towards a Iesnium ore, and then you use your infused pickaxe to mine the ore. Okay. And once this is all set up, we can come back in the next episode and maybe we can set up some miners, or we can set up more crushers. I'm not sure yet, but I did want to spend an episode kind of going through the progression of occultism, and hopefully this was straightforward and helpful for you guys. And one last thing, if you don't have the time wand, to speed it up, you're going to want to upgrade your sacrificial bowls. So we have the gold ones, that is the normal ones. And after that, you're going to want to upgrade to the Iesnium one. So that will require a block of Iesnium, and then you do this ritual to get the Iesnium one. And then you want to get the Eldritch Chalice, which requires a heavy core, a respawn anchor, like all of these things. But once you have this one set up, basically all of your rituals will be instant, and you don't have to wait for it or speed them up. But it is a little expensive to get this, as you see. All right. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will come back in the next episode where we will set up all of these. I'll do that off camera. I'll set up all of these rituals inside of our base. I just wanted an open area to work with so you guys could see easily, but we'll go ahead and move it into our base. Anyways, thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.